Hey friends, welcome to your intermediate plantar fasciitis workout. One of the best things I think for plantar fasciitis is actually just hanging and getting some traction down through the back and actually building up palm strength. So I'm not going to demonstrate it, but pull-up bar, dangling, practicing some shrugs. Everything that we're going to do today, I'm going to try to do without having any sense of props. So hence why I'm not showing that, but even if you go take a walk in a park, try practicing that. It's also worth the investment of the 25 to 40 bucks to get a pull-up bar. So instead what we're trying to do here is get a stretch portion to the lats. So the way I'm going to do that instead is I'm going to rotate my palms inward. I'm going to flatten my back. I'm really pushing into the wall and feeling my scapula wrap around to the outsides as I reach my tail. Note that my head is in line with my elbows. And if you do this correctly, you should feel a good amount of ab engagement too. And we'll take a pause and we'll do that active push 2 more times. Keeping connected to your breath, keeping your pelvic floor relaxed. And release. One more. My pelvic floor release cue is always relax your holes, because then you'll feel your jaw relax too. And maybe even wiggle your toes and really feel your feet connect in with the ground. And release. Next, we're going to do some wall sits with the feet in various positions to really get the calves to the glutes firing. I'm choosing to use these props because I know that I'm going to have greater integrity to get those muscles firing. So I'm going to slide down. You ideally want to be at 90. I don't know if I'm quite there yet today. So I'm going to hold. Shakes are already starting. I'm then going to rise up onto the balls of my feet. I have to walk in for that. Same thing. I feel like this is the most torturous exercise. This is one that I often have to cue myself to keep my face muscles relaxed. So check in and see if that's, I don't think that that's just me. And then we'll have legs drop, or heels drop, sorry, legs go wide. Same exact thing. And I'm holding each of these for about 20 to 30 seconds. You could totally torture yourself with more. I'm keeping my heels flat with this, but another option would be to go onto the balls of your feet for another set. And then I'm going to walk my feet in, and I'm going to do heels together, toes apart. That is another one where you could do another set, heels raised. I'm going to feel the back of your pelvis pressing against a wall too. Trying to make sure too that your feet are kind of equally, you could kind of look at your toes and see if they're equally turned out and that your knees are equally pressing out. Then we're also going to work the internal rotation. So I'm going to put my toes together, which means I got to ditch the band a little bit. I'm doing my toes together, heels wide for another set. You want to feel like your ischial tuberosities, your sit bones are kind of spreading as you do that. We're getting there. You could also do another set on heels here. This is enough supersetting for me. Okay. Shake it out. Hey friends, so some options for this next one. I'm going to have a yoga block behind one of my legs and I'm doing a leg extension. You don't necessarily have to have it be a block. You could also do the same idea standing, even have your arms on a counter. Another option is to have, you could do a set with legs parallel or heels together, knees apart, where you're doing a thrust. You could also throw a band around your knees as you do that. What I'm going for is like so. And then I'm lifting my leg for 10. And I'm really trying to reach through. You could also choose to do a set with toes pointed and then toes flexed. I'm trying as best as possible to keep my weight centered in between my hips so that I'm not totally throwing my weight out to the outside of my stabilizing hip. I'm going to do one more. I also just noticed I tend to drop my head forward, which a lot of us do. So I have to think about keeping my head neutral. People also have a tendency to kick out to the side rather than keep the leg close to the midline, which is what we're looking for. Next, this is kind of a standing bird dog idea. I really like emphasizing the rotational aspect. So I'm standing on one leg. I'm really trying to reach simultaneously through my back leg and out the top of my head. I kick my other arm out to the side and I think of dropping my middle finger in front of my middle toes, and then I'm going to come back up. You could use a weight to make this harder. You could also hold on to something. And one of the cues I always tell my clients is twisting means nipples twist, not just that your arm moves. Do that to the other side. This exercise is a build on the wall push that we did in the beginning. I'm really pushing through my hands, which my fingertips are touching, into a wall. As I do that, I'm going to feel my rib cage sink towards the floor. Only then will I extend one leg and pull it back. So the idea here is that we're connecting our core, particularly the lat, into the lower abs in sort of a gate-like idea of one leg extending at a time. As the leg extends, you're also going to feel your abdomen kind of pull backwards towards the floor. Do one more each way. And for our grand finale, everyone's favorite side plank, we're going to add a leg lift. Easiest version of this will be open through the front like so. You could also be like so. You could also be like so. I mentioned in the video before this that I've been pushing down my wrist because I can feel my abs contract better. We're going to add a leg lift. It might make it easier to feel if you flex the top foot. Okay, I'm doing 5. You could totally torture yourself with more of those. So much fun, right? If you didn't feel some of these in places that felt positive, I would encourage you to go back to some of the content from earlier in this course, like the hip abduction portion, and see if maybe neurologically you need to go back and release some things and then re-engage certain muscles to get the best integrity and the best bang for your buck on your time from this video. Thanks for watching.